Now, as an activist who wants to uphold Hong Kong's autonomy and democracy, how worried are you about these new laws?
Well, it's definitely putting a death certificate to our one country, two system, because the crux of having the high degree of autonomy is that our freedom of speech and freedom of assembly and freedom of having different political beliefs can be guaranteed and can be protected. But if this national security law, which is going to bypass all our local legislation and consultation, that will definitely infringe our freedom and putting every one of us in a risk of being prosecuted with years of sentencing. So that's definitely a huge threat to Hong Kong people.
And Nathan, just on that, are you and other members of your organization and anyone who is for Hong Kong's autonomy concerned that you'll be targeted and arrested under these new laws?
Well, definitely. We believe that the purpose of the Chinese government enacting the national security law is to target the protest and the pro-democracy activists like us, Joshua and I and the others. So, of course, we are worried, and I believe that we are actually on the list.
And with that, what steps will you then be taking to try and maintain the autonomy and democracy of Hong Kong?
The huge protest broke out last year regarding the implementation of the extradition law was successfully stopping the local legislation of the law. So this year, for now, we believe that we need a resistant movement. We need strong opposition in the civic society in order to warn the government that it's not going to work if you push harder in Hong Kong's policy. And not only the local society, but the international community will also react very strongly in regards to this infringement of our freedom and autonomy.
Yeah, I mean, the international community has already come out. The US has warned China not to go ahead and issue these new laws. Taiwan has commented, as well as the EU. Do you think those statements from Washington will actually have any impact on Beijing's actions?
Well, we hope that it has impact, because the international status and Hong Kong as a financial hub and a separate status of economic entity has to be sustained by an agreement in the international society that Hong Kong is an autonomous part of China. So if that national security law is enacted, Hong Kong will only become another ordinary Chinese city, and the status of separate economic entity is not guaranteed anymore. So I think that China needs that status, Hong Kong as a financial hub, for its work, its policy, its financial support. So I think Beijing has to consider the backlash and the consequences of its destroying Hong Kong's autonomy.